this video I will talk about my top 5 items of tackle or sets of tackle which helped for me to achieve my 100 BARBEL challenge during the summer. Even though I wasn't fishing for BARBEL lately as much as I did in the summer, I was doing other things really. I had to tick off a couple items off my bucket list, so I managed to go sea fishing, like fishing from the bank or from the shore. And I really wanted to catch a wrasse, and I managed to do so. And I have to say that sea fishing, if you never tried that, you should. And sea fish are just insanely powerful most of the time. So whilst I was trying to catch wrasse, I managed to catch a sea bass, not very big one, but still managed to hook that one and pull it out. And that was just insane on light tackle. It looked like shark or something like that. It's just very, very fast fish and beautiful fish. When I landed it, it just looks completely different to like coarse fish or freshwater fish. And wrasse are like amazing as well. When you hook one, they try to go into the snag so quickly, so you have to be like, you just need practice more or less to pull them off the bottom as quickly as you can immediately after you hook one. And if you are lucky enough to land one, they just look insane. The colors on them are just mind-blowing. And also I managed to do a little bit of deadbait fishing for zander. I managed to catch a couple zander, and yeah, I never done that before, but I managed to do so. And actually I managed to get a bite from a zander on my first attempt, so yeah, I was quite happy with that. And also I managed to land my PB perch at 3 pounds 12 ounce. So it was also very, very short session after work, so I went just in the right spot more or less for an hour or so, and I think I hooked that perch on the third chuck. So yeah, sometimes it just goes to show if luck is on your side, if you are in the right position or in the right peg. And if you are doing everything more or less okay, you might bank very, very big fish in no time at all. Before going any further, I have to mention a couple of things. First of all, I will be talking in a minute about a few products. I bought these products using my own money, so it won't be a review, and it won't be paid review as well. If something will not be right with these products, I hope I will not forget to mention that. And secondly, I have to say that, or explain or express myself in terms of why I did choose those products during my 100 BARBEL challenge. I was doing mostly short evening sessions. I did actually 0 nights, like when I started fishing in the evening or in the morning and finished next day, I did exactly 0 of that kind of fishing to achieve my 100 BARBEL challenge. So most my sessions were short, like 3, 4, 5 hours, sometimes a little bit longer if I had the time, and also if the fish were feeding as well. But most of the time my sessions were very, very short, so my tackle needed to reflect that. My tackle needed to be very practical, so as compact, as small as possible, quick to set up or put it together, and then quick to disassemble, and just everything needed to be very, very like quick and easy. So all these products, which I will describe in a minute, kind of reflect that. My choice of luggage was DRENNAN Specialist rucksack at 40 liters, so the biggest one they do. And actually I will be talking about 2 items here, so the rucksack itself and also unhooking mat, but I will kind of talk about it as a set. So let's start with the rucksack itself. It's a decent size rucksack. I won't be able to fit it in the shot fully, but it's a decent size rucksack, and it has like big pockets at the sides, like full height more or less of the bag, and I was able to fit a travel tripod for filming in one of them pockets, and also it has a very large pocket at the front which can take 3-pint like maggot boxes or bait boxes if you like, and also there is a little container with a lined foil lined sides, so you can use it as a like a little cool bag. And the main compartment is a decent size as well, and I wasn't using this little pocket for like freezing like a well, freezed baits if you like, or just baits. I was using it for like wallet, phone, keys, and other bits, bait alarms, etc. So it's a very practical piece of kit, and it actually has a couple pairs of like straps where you can attach your, like on the top you can attach some like jacket or whatever, or extra clothing if you like, and then at the base of the rucksack it has buckles to attach that little unhooking mat as well, and that I will talk about unhooking mat just in a second, but yeah, it just attaches at the bottom at 2 points, and it's quite secure, as you can see. But I preferred actually to keep my clothes inside of main pocket, extra clothes, and keep my unhooking mat on the top, strapped on the top, because when I was walking long distances I didn't really enjoy it, like my unhooking mat bouncing around and making me sometimes feel that I will lose something. So when it's on the top, it's secured, it's not moving at all. So, and also very important thing to mention that this rucksack has quite a large base, so on even ground it actually stands. As you can see, I'm holding it on my hand, so it stands on even ground, and it's quite comfortable to use. And the material is quite hard. I'm using this bag actually for a couple of years. As you can see, it's a little bit dirty and muddy, but material is still a little bit, it has a little bit of waterproof properties, and it's just reliable and strong. And also the zippers are quite strong as well, even though, as I mentioned, I am using it for quite a few months already, or over a year, and yeah, the zippers are still, all of them actually intact and working fine. And at the back of the bag you can see there is a decent like cushioning, and it's actually quite comfortable to carry this rucksack for quite a few kilometers. So yeah, very good piece of tackle. The only, I would say, improvement I would suggest for Drennan, if they are looking, I would say that they would need to make an oversize even bigger than this one. This one is 40 liters, but I would like to have exactly the same configuration, just maybe a little bit taller, so it would take about 60 liters maybe, or something like that. Then it would be ideal, and I would get that immediately. So very good piece of tackle, and it helped really to achieve my 100 barbel challenge many times, because I had everything more or less, like end tackle and some like bait and my tripod and camera, everything in one place. So when I was like finished with my work for a day, I was able to grab my rucksack with like unhooking mat attached and go fishing. So yeah, very good piece of tackle. And then I won't unfold the unhooking mat, but as you can see, it's quite compact. It's almost a meter in length when you unroll it, and it's, even though it's quite thin, but the foam is dense, if you understand what I mean. It's quite dense, so the cushioning for the fish is very good. And yeah, and sometimes I use this little mat to sit on it. You can kind of put it on the bucket or just on the steps or on the ground, and it's quite nice to sit on it as well. And it's very durable as well. The inner side, as you can see, is made of like very like not soft, but I would say very like slippery material, which is waterproof, and the other side is made of this out of the same material as a rucksack. So yeah, very durable and simple design, and it actually it was designed to be used in conjunction with this DRENNAN rucksack or other DRENNAN specialist carrying solutions like shoulder bags and smaller rucksacks as well. You would not believe how many items of tackle or terminal tackle I have in this little box. That's a KORDA's tackle safe box, and I have a little like writing here saying that it's for my carp fishing. I have a couple more of these boxes which I use for different purposes, but yeah, even though I'm talking about barbel, in my head like barbel fishing and carp fishing, when it comes to end tackle, not they are more similar than they are different. So I will be using the same tackle box for my carp fishing as well as for my barbel fishing. So yeah, one box covers two types of fishing. And as I said, you would not believe how many items of tackle you can fit in one of these boxes. So I tried to count, for example, how many spools of line I have. So that's a 1, 2, 3, and probably you can see there are 4 more. So 7 spools of line. Of course, those are small spools just for like hook links and shock leaders. And I have a lighter, I have various types of needles, some needles here, some needles here, my rig scissors, my hooks, fake baits, various clips, wivels, booms, plastic booms, everything really. Even though, as I said, those boxes, they do look not particularly big, but the amount of tackle you can put in one of them boxes is just insane. And again, that just helped for me to be like more organized, if you like, whilst I was challenging myself, because all I needed for my barbel fishing for like a couple hours was a little box when it comes to end tackle. So I used to grab, or not really grab, I used to keep this little box in one of the rucksack of DRENNAN specialist rucksack. And yeah, it was always there. And when I used to lose my tackle, like in the snacks or something like that, I just used to grab this one, sit down, and use that little area here where my line is, just to put it on the knees and then like tie my rigs, etc. And it's quite good design actually. I quite like it because it has 2 sides. It fastens with the magnets, and it has lots and lots of smaller compartments, if you like. It has over 20, I think, small compartments. Oh yeah, easy, over 20. So yeah, for small terminal tackle, these type of boxes are very, very practical, and it really helped for me to be like quick and also to achieve my challenge as well. Another piece of tackle which helped me no end is a KORUM's river tripod. I won't be able to fit it in the frame, but this piece of kit is just insanely good. I can't believe that I started using it just this year. Before that I used to use bank sticks for my like river fishing for barbel, and after that I noticed that some other anglers were using these KORUM tripods, and how easy it was to set them and how easy to use. So well, how easy to use a setup with these tripods was. So I bought one of these immediately. But I have to say that even though the design is quite good, it has a couple little like glitches. First of all, you have to make sure that you buy a couple of these cups. They are not supplied in the set when you buy them. The bars are supplied in the set, but cups aren't, so you need to buy them. And of course, when you buy those, you need also to glue this little like quick change attachment. You need to glue it, otherwise it will try to unscrew itself. And also those aluminum, I guess, bars are attached to the plastic, like, and it was wobbly at the start. I needed to glue that as well, and now it's solid. And that like a wobbly thing was on the front one and on the back one as well. But once it's sorted, it's solid. And yeah, I have to mention that this tripod only weighs like, I think it's 1 kilo 600 grams. So, and then when I was thinking should I buy it, won't it be very heavy? And then I kind of decided to weigh one of my Fox long bang sticks. And I think one bang stick did weigh about, I think it was about 400 or 500 grams. So if you buy 4 of them, it will be heavier than the tripod. And to use a tripod like on the steep banks or on the banks where it's rocky, or it does not even compare. You just, if you have the tripod, you just chuck it on any bank and you are fishing in a minute or so. And if you will be using bang sticks, then you will be like looking, like digging all you will be going along the bank to see where you can put your bang sticks in. And sometimes you find one hole, one area where you can put one of the bang sticks and you are happy, but then you can't put any more, and then you just get annoyed really. And as I said, with one of them tripods, it's just very, very easy, and you always will be able to, or at least I was able to get my rods where I wanted, like 100%. And as well, it's lighter than a few of these bang sticks, and it's just easier to carry as well, because more or less everything is in one piece. Yes, the bars are like a different piece, but they are quite short, so you can put them in the rucksack. I was carrying them in my rucksack and no extra space really. Just as I mentioned, a couple little glitches which you can sort out like in 5 minutes. Of course, what I didn't mention, that those legs are telescopic, like all 3 of them, and you can get your rods quite high actually. I'm pretty sure that you will be laughing about this product, but actually I have here 2 rods and 2 sleeves, but I will like cover it as a one product or one set if you like. So those are SONIK XTRACTOR carp rods at 9 feet, and the power is 275 pounds. And as you can see, those are quite short rods when they are like ready to be transported. And also I have to mention that rods were brilliant to me when I was fishing, especially in the areas where I had some trees over my head. So using shorter rods, I was able to chuck my feeders or my leads very accurately and not like getting snagged onto the trees above my head. And quite often I was fishing under some bridges as well, and these shorter rods helped no end really. And you might ask how you were able to keep your line out of the water. Obviously I was using that KORUM tripod, and I was able to get my rods quite high, so the bar with the cups, I was able to get it pretty high, and my rods, well, rod tips were very high as well. So that disadvantage disappeared immediately. And also to play a barbel on the short rod is just much better. I always had full control, and also having in mind that those rods are quite powerful for a barbel rod. I was having the control all the time, and I think I only like lost fish in snags where I was really, I could basically, the shorter rods, I think that they helped me to land more fish, and more powerful rods actually helped me to land more fish even in the snaggy situations, because as I mentioned, I was able to move quicker if I felt that, and I knew that the snag is somewhere in the area. I was able to like change the angle quicker with a shorter rod, and if I needed to walk along the bank, I was able to move quicker as well, because I didn't have to worry about like branches or anything, so not get stuck in the branches with my rod tips. And also, as these, you can get the sleeves for these rods. These sleeves actually were designed for these rods, and those actually are quite smart as well. I was able to attach, as you can see, it has like a little pouch here, and also on the same side it has like a little strap to attach something long. So you put one end of that piece of tackle in the pocket, and then you secure it with a strap. So I was carrying on one side my KORUM river tripod, and on the other side I was carrying big landing net and handle. So everything related to like rods, like landing fish and hooking the fish and putting the rod onto, or longer items of tackle, were actually in one piece. So that's ideal, really. And those little pouches, they do sell in singles, but you can hook them together or just attach them together, and you can attach if you want 3 or 4 or as many as you wish, really, in one set. And to carry them, it just, as you can see, it's super easy, and they are quite light as well. Yeah, great piece of tackle when you need to be like quick to do your fishing. Very important piece of tackle when I'm fishing, no matter what kind of fishing I'm doing, is my clothing. I always try to be as comfortable as I can. So by that I mean I don't want to be wet, I don't want to be cold, and also I want to have like freedom of movement, if you like. I don't want like not very stretchy clothes, or when you are just struggling to move, and you basically, the more comfortable you are, or at least I will talk about myself, the more comfortable I am, the better I fish, and the more fish I will catch, as simple as that. And one piece of tackle, or not really tackle or clothing, was one of them packable jackets. In this case I have Craghopper's Compressed Light 2, I think it's called, and I won't try to compress it now, but basically that's a little pouch. You can put all jacket in it. So, and those jackets are insane. You can wear, I could put this on and I could be sitting for hours like in my house, in my house, like with +20, and I wouldn't be hot. And the same applies if I would be out like with +5 or +10 maybe. I would be feeling comfortable as well and not cold. And they are windproof as well. Again, you don't need to buy like very expensive ones. This one is quite cheap. I think I got it like for 30 quid or something like that, like 35 or something like that, 35 pounds I think it was. So they are quite cheap, and they do serve very well, and they are actually a little bit like water repellent. They are not waterproof, but they are water repellent, so they will stop light rain as well. And during my 100 barbel challenge, most likely I was like starting fishing at 6, something like that, when the sun was still out and it was like 20 degrees, so warmish. You can fish just wearing a t-shirt, and then the sun goes down and it's like the temperatures quite often used to drop like to +10, and you feel cold, you are not comfortable. And then of course you can put one hoodie or something like that, and then second one, and then yes, you will be warm, but the freedom of movement will not be there, or at least I'm talking about my own experience. And these jackets, like those packable ones, they are insanely comfortable. You just, most of the time you don't even know that you are wearing one. They are so comfortable. And I have to say that I did notice that quite a few anglers using these kind of jackets. For example, I noticed one angler, which is very, very respected carp angler. I won't mention his name, but he's sponsored by Nash Tackle, I think. And I noticed that he's wearing one of those jackets, like even in summer, he's wearing shorts and one of them jackets. So it just goes to show how versatile that kind of jackets are. You can put one on and feel like fine all day long. Start fishing in the morning, feeling like not cold. If it's like breezier day in the summer, like +15 maybe or something like that, you don't even need to take it off and then fish until the evening and maybe through the night. Yeah, and also they are very light. You can actually pack one up and they will be like 200 grams, something like that. You can put it anywhere really, and it's very, very good idea to carry one of these jackets in your car even in summer. And of course you don't need to buy, as I mentioned, like rag hoppers. Even though they are cheap, you can get even better, I guess, like from better brands, maybe Bear House or I don't know, North Face or Canada Goose if you are really rich. Anything, I'm pretty sure anything will do. Just make sure that the lining or the insulation is some kind of artificial. You don't want to get the like geese felt or something like that, because then even though they will be warm, but those really are not designed like for fishing during the summer. They are too warm, and if they will get wet, those like felt, they won't dry as quick. And these ones you can pretty much you can put it into the water, take it out, give it a half an hour, maybe like squeeze the water out, and then half an hour in the wind, it will be good to go. Yeah, very, very good piece of tackle. And I wear one of them like all the time, and I have, I think, 4 of them. Just one is for fishing, a couple is like to go to pubs or shopping, etc. Yeah, insane piece of tackle, even though it wasn't designed like exclusively for fishing. Actually, it wasn't designed for fishing, just going for walks or something like that. But yeah, it works for fishing just very, very well. And that's it for this video, guys. I hope you will find this video useful, because I believe I provided you with some ideas which you will be able to use in your own fishing. If you liked this video, please feel free to subscribe, comment, and leave a like. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.